So that Stamets 7 is another great product for all around immune support. And
Yeah.
some of the research data suggests it's synergistic. So it may even support your immune system a little bit more than if you were to take the same amount of one of those 7 species separately. So,
Interesting. So
but
again,
then you
this
got the
one,
whole
yeah,
body health and wellness too, right? So you
right.
kind of, it's like checking off a bunch of boxes with the Stamets 7. Astragalus root has a really well documented history and usage and research also supporting immune functioning. And then Schizandra is great because it does support immunity, but it's also an adaptogen. And so as we're going into that change of season and our body is attempting to adapt to a lot of those changes, this is where Schizandra can be really wonderful.
Welcome everybody to the Healthy Habit Podcast, to episode number 79, where we're talking to one of the fan favorites, one of my favorite guests here, our medicinal mushroom expert and host defense education director, Mr. Jerry Angelini, folks, is back for our monthly check-in. People were asking about where is Jerry, and here he is. He's back with us, folks, for episode 79. Last time we talked to Jerry was back in April of this year, episode number 24. Jerry Angelini is an integrative practitioner with training and experience in psychiatric and chronic illness rehabilitation. And again, he's the host defense education director. Jerry's undergraduate and graduate degrees from Boston University form the foundation of his conventional medical training, which is augmented by TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine herbalism, Ayurveda and Western clinical herbalism. Since 2012, going on 11 years here now, Jerry's led the National Science Education Team for Host Defense Mushrooms. He offers mycologically and herbally informed education across the United States as well as internationally. Welcome back, Jerry, to the show. Thank you for coming
Great.
on.
Yeah, great to be here. Great to see you again, Dr. Dayan.
Last time we talked all things cordyceps mushroom and how it may help fatigue, metabolic issues. You mentioned how it opens up those airways and helps you absorb more oxygen into the bloodstream. So, Jerry, what's on your radar for today? Since April, we haven't talked to you, and it's immune season now here. It's getting cooler here in the fall and winter months in Arizona, really countrywide, but especially here. So, what's on the radar for today, Jerry?
Yeah, I think all things immunity is a good place to go. Like we're in November, it is definitely like full on autumn. We're like moving into the winter
Right.
months. That can always like change of season is always an interesting experience for people in general, but also from the immune perspective too.
Absolutely. So, when people think of boosting the immune system, and we've talked about this on previous shows, how
Yeah.
they lean towards the vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin D,
Mhm.
minerals like zinc, which are
Yep.
phenomenal and necessary for the immune system.
Yep.
But give us a little intro into kind of the
Right.
mushrooms when it comes to immunity. Why are they so effective for the immune system?
And this is like, if there could be like a structure function area of the body where mushrooms shine, it's here, right? Historically, and a lot of the research on just about every mushroom species has focused on how it can support a full range of immune functioning. And we really see this with things like cordyceps, with reishi, two mushrooms we're really familiar with, but turkey tail too. More and more people are familiar with turkey tail. And now one of host defenses, like we like to call it our mascot mushroom, which is agarikon. Like these are really beautiful mushrooms that can be used together to support immune functioning, to support just overall health and wellness goals that people can have on a day-to-day basis.
Right. You mentioned cordyceps, turkey tail, agaricus. And now, is there a blend that might include all of those for someone that's new to mushrooms that might want to start with something that covers all the bases?
Yeah, so And you can go at this from a couple of different directions. You can take a look at the MycoShield spray. It has reishi and agarikon, which is Fomitopsis officinalis. It's got turkey tail in it. It's got chaga in it, and then birch polypore. So it's a spray. It's got you got 5 flavors you can choose from. Super convenient, great tasting, doubles as a breath freshener sometimes too, right? Like, especially that peppermint. It's like you do like 3 or 4 sprays and it's like, poof, wow, that peppermint is really pepperminty, right? So you're getting the really all of the benefits of the mushrooms with a really easy to use throat spray. Perfect.
Right.
You can, there you go, right? Peppermint, cinnamon, licorice. The licorice is, in fact, licorice root extract. So I want people to be a little bit careful if you have high blood pressure concerns. Choose one of the other 4. There's citrus, there's winter mist, which is birch flavor, like wintergreen. Citrus is the most mild. If you love your red hot cinnamon flavor, that cinnamon is like that old red hot candy when we were kids, right? So like you got everything there that you can choose from depending upon your palate. And that's really a wonderful just support for the immune response. 2 to 3 sprays, 2 to 3 times a day, just in a regular. If you feel like you want a little bit of extra, do 3 to 4 sprays 3 to 4 times a day, right? So just add a little bit more, and those sprays are great. Wonderful way to do it.
I'm on hostdefense.com, and you can just go there directly or just Google Host Defense MycoShield. Who is this guy? He looks familiar to me. This guy right here.
Notice how like all that hair is brown.
Oh my gosh. This is phenomenal.
Those were a couple of years ago. So like,
yeah.
And I don't use dye. So like I'm definitely in the gray for sure. But yeah, we got some really quick videos up there to help people get comfortable with the different products.
Right.
The other one I think is really great is Stamets 7.
Okay.
And you can do that as a capsule. So some people don't like sprays, they don't like liquids, but they'll do capsules because it like works with all of their stuff, their daily routine. The Stamets 7 product is brilliant for it. It's equal parts of 7 mushrooms. Right. It has cordyceps and reishi. It's got lion's mane in there. So for people that want a little brain support too, right? You've got the chaga, maitake, which is really well researched for its support for immune functioning, but also blood glucose regulation already within the normal range. And then you have Agaricus blazei and Messima, 2 mushrooms well researched for their immune support. So that Stamets 7 is another great product for all around immune support. And some of the research data suggests it's synergistic. So it may even support your immune system a little bit more than if you were to take the same amount of one of those 7 species separately. So
interesting. So
again, but then you got the whole body health and wellness too, right? So you kind of, it's like checking off a bunch of boxes with the Stamets 7.
That was a perfect answer to my initial question on, is there a product that somebody could take that's new to mushrooms, who's interested in mushrooms, that covers the different bases, that gives you a little bit of everything? Because I think the common thing among all these different mushrooms, and I'm sure you'd agree here, Jerry, is they're all good for the immune system, but then each of them brings something else unique to the table, right?
Yeah, right. And this is where I think the Stamets 7 is perfect. If you're new to mushrooms, you got a couple of boxes you want to check on your check off with your health goals. This is the product for you because it's got the cordyceps that also supports lung function and oxygenation. Reishi supports immune balancing activity, but also is great for heart health and intestinal function. Maitake is, again, immunity, but also blood glucose regulation, already within that normal range. The lion's mane is nerve and brain and cognitive functioning. Chaga helps barrier tissue. So think of skin, lungs, digestive tract, and then Mesima and Royal Sunblasei, those two on the one on the top and one on the
Yes.
bottom. Those are really great for the just all around immune supportive mushrooms.
Amazing. And that's named after Paul Stamets, the founder
Yep.
there of Host Defense Mushrooms, the
Yep.
Stamets 7. He has his own YouTube channel as well, if you guys want to search that. We've
Yeah.
linked that to previous episodes here with Host Defense Mushrooms. And tell us
Yeah.
about this brown rice biomass on fermented brown rice. Why is that being used? Like, why? Tell us about that process a little bit
Yeah.
for those
So
that want to
this
go a little bit deeper.
For sure, this is really important because what you're seeing, if you're looking at this on the screen, you'll see that the cordyceps, so let's just take that one. It says cordyceps militaris, and then it says mycelium, and then fermented brown rice biomass. So
Yeah.
because both of those are in that very specific part of the label, they're both active ingredients. So what we do at Host Defense is we take the mycelium, we grow it in organic brown rice that's cooked, and the mycelium ferments it, so it turns it into fermented food.
Hmm.
And it's really specific to the mushroom species, all of those what are called postbiotics or fermentation metabolites. And these have been found to be robustly immunologically active in research. And it's been published, it's peer-reviewed articles that have been published, and it really talks about the whole, all of it, the mycelium and that fermented rice as being supportive immunologically.
Wow.
And then down at the bottom, you see those other ingredients,
Yeah.
and it says palulan.
Yes.
Palulan is basically tapioca that's been fermented by another mushroom, and it basically makes a polymer. So it's mushrooms inside of mushrooms, which is kind of cool. We love
Wow.
that, right?
That's incredible.
But there's no other ingredients, like there's no microcrystalline cellulose, there's no magnesium stearate or silica. So there's no other flow agents or binders or fillers. So every grain that's in, every bit of powder that's in those capsules or in our powder product is supportive
Wow.
in really quite a complex uh, and synergistic manner.
Amazing. Everything's very carefully calculated here by Host Defense. It's a certified organic company. All their products are certified organic by the WSDA, the Washington State Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
And everything is carefully put together here by this company. So if you're new to the world of mushrooms, Host Defense is definitely a company you can trust. #1 best-selling mushroom brand in the U.S., powered by the mushroom mycelium. And it's bee-friendly, vegan, non-GMO, eco packaging, and gluten-free. I mean, you can't get much deeper and more comprehensive than this, folks. Jerry, how
We're
did you
trying.
go? Yeah.
There's a lot of companies out there that, they're invested in the profits. Like every business has to make profit, right? To
Right.
run and to grow and to flourish. But we want to put back into the world around us too. We're also a certified B Corp, and we're designated as climate positive. So what that means is for all of our carbon emissions, and there are three scopes, scope 1, 2, and 3. It's like direct, and then there's upstream and downstream, like shipping and all of
Yeah.
that. Even like employee travel to work and home too, right? So we calculate all of that. We take that number, which is our carbon footprint, and we offset it by 110%.
Wow.
So we practice carbon emission reduction practices, everything from using renewable power or energy, just reducing energy needs. But we also participate in global carbon offsetting projects that equal 110% of our global of our scope 1, 2, and 3 carbon emissions. So we're trying to be thoughtful about this
Right.
while also helping us. Like we can do that too. Like
Yes.
we can help our fellow human being, and we can help our planet that we live on to hopefully have some longevity too.
Incredible. And Jerry, how did you first get involved with the world of mushrooms that's fueling this passion, right? You've been with them
Yeah.
for over a decade now with Host Defense?
Yeah, it's been like 11. I think I'm coming
Yeah.
up on like almost 12 years soon.
Okay.
So like I don't know, it's just so first of all, Paul is an amazing scientist, right? He's dedicated his life to mycology and the study of mushrooms. And um, I don't know, when I started this, I was on a sabbatical from my private practice, and I was doing some work with traditional Chinese medicine, especially some of the formulas and using it within a TCM uh, context and paradigm. And I was like doing some side work at a health food store, and I was ordering Host Defense mushrooms for the store. And so I was kind of in that like kind of quiet, like in between
Yeah.
space. And I, an opportunity came up to like interview with Paul and the GM Steve, and I took it, and it like just happened. It was
Right.
almost like the universe kind of just unfolds around you, and if you're keeping your eyes open and you're taking your cues and you move forward in a beautiful way, I feel really really lucky and to be working with Paul and Stephen. We just have a really amazing crew of people at Fungi Perfecti and Host Defense, from all of our production staff, where we're growing all of our own mushroom material right in house, to our
Wow.
customer service reps who are so kind and understanding and willing to like answer any question that comes up and work with people, to our education team, which is robust and out there in the US. And I do a lot of training in Canada as well to help people learn more about mushrooms and build a relationship with them. And then we've got, I mean, gosh, we have an R research and development team, and they're currently studying how Host Defense lion's mane mushroom supports nerves in their generative activity and just day-to-day
Yeah.
circumstances. So, like we're fully immersed in the world of the mushroom and fungi, and it's really brilliant. Like it's really a brilliant experience.
That's how you know you love what you're doing. You know, that answer was powerful. We're going to probably use that one at the front here as a like intro clip to this interview.
For
You could
sure.
definitely feel the passion when
Yeah,
you're on the program, and we've been talking to you on the radio now for several years as well. So we always appreciate talking to you, Jerry.
yeah.
So
So great,
uh,
thanks. So to kind of like segue back to
yeah,
immunity, we talked a little bit about MycoShield. We talked a little bit about Stamets 7.
yes,
And I'd love to talk about two Mycobotanicals products.
let's go.
Now, they're both powders. So you got to be smoothie people or shake people. And one's spicy and one's sweet and tart. So the spicy one is called Brain and Body. And this has lion's mane and reishi to help with nerve and cognitive functioning and brain functioning.
Yeah,
But it also has turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and just a teeny bit of black pepper. And the turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger together all support immune modulatory or balancing activity. They support the gut, the intestinal tract, they support liver function, they support just graceful movement, like especially joint movement. And I like to put this in a little bit of chocolate almond milk, and
hmm.
it tastes like chocolate chai. So not too spicy, but it definitely has some chai flavors to it because of the cinnamon and the ginger and the turmeric. So if there's
Right.
anyone out there that likes their golden milk or their chai tea, this is brilliant. And it definitely will support immune functioning, get those immune cells up and running, but also help get it and keep it within that Goldilocks zone. So not too hot, not too cold, but just right.
Yeah. Again, that's
So
the Mycobotanicals Brain and Body formula. If you want to mix it up and hit it from a powder perspective, that's why I like always asking people, how can you see yourself taking this product? Do you want a capsule? Do you want a powder? Do you want a liquid version of a supplement? So
right,
this is a perfect way to incorporate a powder in there.
yeah. The other powder I want to touch base on is the new product that came out. It's called Mycobotanicals Immune.
Okay.
And Mycobotanicals Immune is a little bit sweet and a little bit tart and a little bit smoky in the flavor. Again, you're going to want to be a shake or a person that does smoothies. The way microbiome, that's a great product
Yeah.
too, by the way. So if you want to help your intestinal wellness and support your probiotic microflora, think about the microbiome. But
Yeah.
this one has acerola cherry in it.
Wow.
It's got astragalus root and then goji berry and schizandra berry. And many people are really familiar with goji. Like I remember about like 7 or 10 years ago, the whole goji berry, like, oh, eat goji berries,
I
right?
remember that.
Right. And
Yeah.
acerola cherry people are really familiar with for vitamin C.
Yeah.
Astragalus root has a really well documented history and usage and research also supporting immune functioning. And then Schizandra is great because it does support immunity, but it's also an adaptogen. And so as we're going into that change of season and our body is attempting to adapt to a lot of those changes, this is where Schizandra can be really wonderful. And it also has a really complex flavor to it. So this is where the Mycobotanicals Immune powder has that sweet and tart and smoky flavor to it. Some people like to add this to their morning, whether it's orange juice or carrot juice, or maybe they have like a blended shake that they use. Maybe they
Right.
make with mango or pineapple or some other like blueberries if you're throwing blueberry in your shake. This will mix really well with all of those flavors.
And you could have easily called this the liver formula as well. You're getting a lot of good liver support here through the astragalus and the schizandra as
Yes.
well. And then, of
And
course,
goji.
and the
Yeah.
goji, right, through Chinese medicine. That's a classic TCM herb, isn't it, goji?
It sure is, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, it does, like, this helps our body change seasons really, really well. But
Yeah.
again, so the first time I tried this, I just put it in a little bit of water and I took it and I was like, wow, that's a lot of flavor going on there, right? And then the next day I took it, I'm like, oh, that's really good. I really like that. And then by day 5, I was like, oh, I haven't taken my immune
Yeah.
yet today. And I started like looking forward to it every day. So, and you know how sometimes they talk about making sure that you eat like your greens and your blues and your reds. Well, these are your reds,
Right.
like the acerola cherry, the goji berry, the schizandra, they're all red in color.
Right.
So this is how you get those antioxidants, the red ones, the polyphenols and the anthocyanins that turn that red color
Right.
that are great to support antioxidant activity.
And this is brand new. I mean, I think hopefully we already have it here on the shelves at Healthy Habit, but this is the
Oh,
brand new Mycobotanicals Immune Powder through Host
yeah,
Defense Mushrooms, which this is a great line in the Mycobotanicals because you're combining the functional mushrooms with the world of botanical herbal medicine, and that's going to be the
exactly.
schizandras, the astragalus of the world. And so this is going to be giving you the best of all the worlds there.
Yeah,
Plus, you're getting vitamin C through the acerola cherry in there. So
yeah,
perfect for this time of year. Add it to some hot water and
yeah,
mix it up a little bit, folks, instead of just relying on capsules, right? That's a good
yeah,
way to incorporate some of this
yeah,
natural medicine through herbs or through powder, right,
yeah.
Jerry?
And that's why like we have these different like the MycoShield is for the spray people or the liquids.
Yes.
Stamets 7, great capsules. If that's what you want to do, all the way, go for Stamets 7 capsules. If you're open to powders and mixing up some flavors, like there's a lot of people that love to increase their flavor intake during the day. So the brain and body or the Mycobotanicals Immune are great options for that.
And just like that, it brings us to the 24th minute of the show. And what's a good take home here? Jerry Angelini, it's been amazing having you back on since episode 28 or so. I think it was
Yeah.
24. Let me
You
confirm that
know,
right now. It was
just
episode 24 to be exact. Let's get a little
right.
take home for today, Jerry.
The take home is no matter how you want, we've got a delivery method that can help you get your immune system up and running as you change the seasons, keep it functioning within that Goldilocks zone of immune functioning. So whether you want to take a liquid spray, whether a capsule or a powder, we've got something that can help that.
Amazing. Always appreciate having you on. And like you said, the whole team there at Host Defense is unbelievable. Everyone's on the same page. I've
Yeah.
gone to multiple trainings by Host Defense, and
Yes.
it's just you guys are always keeping us up to date. So thank you for everything for coming on today.
Always a
There we go.
pleasure.